Hello, in this video, we are going to go over how to fill out the SBA Form 413, which is the personal financial statement that is used mostly for SBA 7A and 504 loans, as well as other SBA loan programs that are listed here on page 1. We are going to start with page 2 and go over the very basic information: name, phone number, address. Make sure you put in the business that you're applying for, the business address, the type of corporation the business is, as well as the date of the information that you are providing. Now, what's really important on this is you make sure that you understand that this is a personal financial statement and not a business financial statement. What that means is you really need to make sure that you're putting in personal information, nothing related to your business. So you're not going to put in business assets or business debt or liability on this form. So we're going to start here, and the whole point of this is for the bank to understand your personal assets and your personal liabilities. So we're going to start here with cash on hand in banks. They're asking, if you said, give me all your money in a checking account, how much would that be? In this case, we're going to say $20,000. You may have multiple banks, that's fine, but that's how we're going to do that, is combine it all into one number. Savings accounts. This also includes CDs. Then you would put in whatever dollar amount you have in savings and CDs at all banks combined. Next, we're going to go into IRAs and other retirement accounts. Before you put in a number here, you'll see describe in section 5. You'll move to the next section, section number 5, which is other personal property and other liquid assets. So you're going to put in any detailed information here on section number 5 when it has to go with your IRA or other retirement accounts. Now, in that section down below, you're going to want to define what it is. If you have multiple 401k accounts, you'll say, for example, Edward Jones, $50,000, Ameritrade, $50,000, and then you'd put in $100,000 here. Again, we're only looking for retirement assets on there. If you have a pension, I would probably put a comment of a pension down there, and if there's any value of the pension, I would also put that under this section. Also in section number 5 is accounts and notes receivable. Now, immediately when people think of accounts receivable, they think of their business accounts receivable. But remember, like I said, this is a personal financial statement. So it's important that it is, what do people owe you? So did you maybe sell a piece of real estate to a family member and they owe you money? Then that would be considered a note receivable, and you'd put that in here. Most of the time, people don't have that and they leave it blank. Life insurance. Now, in section 8 down below is where you'd put in any sort of life insurance held. Either that's term, that's whole life, whatever the case is, list that information here in section 8. However, when you go back up to here, it's important that you understand that you're only putting in cash surrender value only. So you may have a $500,000 term life insurance policy, but there's no cash value in term life. So you're going to put 0 on here, but you're going to put under section 8 that you have a term life insurance policy for $500,000 with whatever life insurance company. Next is stocks and bonds. So if you go down to section 3, you'll see in this case we have 100 shares of company stock at $2 a share. We put in the date of the valuation and what the total value is. So we have $10,000 worth of company stock, and so we have $10,000 listed here. And by the way, it does carry the numbers up in those certain sections. Next is real estate, described in section 4. So I would immediately go down to section 4 and fill out this section. It will automatically calculate your numbers and put it up above. Property A is always going to be your primary residence if you own, and so you're going to fill out all your information: address, date purchase, the original cost of the property. If you don't remember, you can get close. Present market value, you can look at Zillow or Redfin is a great example. The address of the mortgage holder, the account number. If you don't know it, you can leave it blank. Mortgage balance, how much do you pay per month, and the status of your mortgage, either are you behind or are you as agreed. Property B and C, you may even have more properties than 3 here. Just use another sheet of paper or copy this page and make sure to fill it out for all of that. It's really important that the bank and credit union has all the information about all your properties. Generally speaking, these are rental properties in this case. And so all of that information automatically gets funneled up here into real estate in section 4 as your asset, its value, and it also fills in the debt over here for you. But we're still on assets. Automobiles. In section number 5, you're going to put in there any details about the vehicles, RVs, boats, any sort of titled things you're going to put in there. In this case, we're just going to say $50,000. You can go to nada.com in order to get your car's value. Cars.com also has something like that as well that we use. Next, also, I was talking about section number 5, which is the same section where you put in your information about retirements. We're going to discuss other assets and other personal property. Now, other personal property, people think, okay, well, if you look around your office right now, you have a desk, you have a TV, you have a computer system, all of that has value. But in the case of a liquidation, we're not going to come after all that. So what that really means is, what do you really have in personal property? You can put whatever you feel is appropriate. If you have a large jewelry collection, if you have a large art collection, you can put all that in there as well. Generally speaking, banks really do discount that. I would just put in $10,000. If you have any other assets that we possibly did not mention up here, go ahead and put that on there, and it'll automatically calculate your total assets. Now we're going to look on the other side of your balance sheet, which is your personal liabilities, okay? The first thing we're going to look at is accounts payable. Again, you're thinking a business. Okay, accounts payable is what people, or what I owe my vendors. Well, in this case, it's what do you owe that is outside of a installment loan? Now, 99 times out of 100, this is probably 0. Notes payable to banks and others, described in section 2. Well, if you go down here to section 2, you'll notice that we have some loans. We have a car loan, we have a student loan. So we're going to put in any sort of term loans in this section. Note I did not say credit cards. You're putting in term loan debt in this here. So if you have a couple cars, you're going to list those, couple RVs, whatever the kit boat, put that in there. If you need more spaces than this, you can go ahead and add another attachment for that. But that will automatically come up here and actually filled out under installment accounts, because you'll see a $15,000. It has an $850 monthly payment, $300 monthly payment, and it's all going to be right in there from the section down below. So it calculates that up there. Loans against life insurance. This is actually, there's an error here. Loans against life insurance is if you don't have any cash value, you probably don't have any loans on life insurance. So that's actually going to be 0. The mortgages on real estate, that is going to automatically calculate when you filled out section 4. It'll go ahead and calculate all your debt up here. Unpaid taxes, described in section 6. So you'll go down to section 6 and mention that. Here's the thing in unpaid taxes. If you have back taxes, please put that exactly how it is. We need to understand that as a part of our underwriting process. Any sort of unpaid taxes could also be maybe you just haven't paid this year's taxes yet because they're not due. That's okay. Make sure you just put that on there so we understand that. Other liabilities in section 7, perhaps maybe there's something else under section 7. Maybe you co-signed on a student loan for your son or daughter. Some other debt that you co-signed or you're a guarantor on. It would be something you would list in this section. It'll go ahead and calculate your total liabilities, and it will go ahead and give you a net worth. Okay? Now we go into sources of income. This is where you can put in the detailed information of what you put here in section 1. You're going to put in your salary, any sort of W-2. If it's a joint financial statement like it is up above, you would combine both salaries and then detailed list that out here. Do you have any sort of investment income? You're going to list that there. Real estate income that you would get on an annual basis. All of these are annual basis, by the way. Other income, maybe it's pension, maybe it's annuity income, who knows? Put that information there. Contingent liabilities. Again, contingent liabilities is where you signed as a guarantee on another loan. So for example, if you signed on your son or daughter's student loan, that's a contingent liability. You're kind of responsible for it, but you did it in order for your son or daughter to get the student loan. Maybe you have legal claims and judgments. Maybe you have some federal income tax provisions or other special debt. Other special debt would also be, I would list if you're a guarantor and you signed as a personal guarantee on a business loan. I would want that section there filled out as well. And you would detail all of that here. So if you notice, you filled out everything on these pages, you put in all your details, you're going to go ahead and sign, and then you're going to go ahead and print that and give that to your banker. That is how you fill out the SBA Form 413 Personal Financial Statement. Thanks for watching.